Last week, we necked Lady Adabra, and I lost my favourite javelin. F in the comments, please.
I'm just going to climb up the rest of the way
Okay.
to the little veranda.
You're still midway up. Your arms are a little bit on fire. Like where you're just past midway up.
Yep.
Below that meaty mechanism. Above your head is still just this like stump of gross meaty chunks. And you just see it sort of like pulsating. And just the last bits of blood just pouring down the face of it. Where you're holding becomes quite slippery, and you realize that the vacuum seal that was sort of pushing you up against the wall is no more.
Oh.
Give me a dex save.
Rude.
Thanks for reminding me you were there.
I forgot to. Just roll. 2 plus 2. It's 4.
All right.
I really
you start
like that one
to
better.
slip down the wall. You're trying to gain purchase, and about halfway is when you actually just start to slow motion fall backwards towards the ground.
Hey, Cliché's here.
At which point he's smack.
He does that like sickening bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah. A comical almost head rocking as you
I know how
smash
that
the
feels.
ground.
I'll run up to Cliché.
You're going to take 5 bludgeoning damage as all the wind is knocked out of you, hitting the ground straight on your back.
Good.
As you look up towards the old kill mill, you see the top of the mill start to sort of concave in, and blood just starts to pour down all of the walls at once. The walls start to implode on each other and start to crumble inwards.
I was trying to get your javelin.
No, my javelin.
I was trying to get the javelin and I was trying to get a head for you. For your collection.
Good one. Now
A single strain of her hair just singeingly just like lands next to Snacks.
I'm gonna run up to Cliché, grabbing the sword on the way and hand it to him, seeing if he's all right.
Nice.
Is he still on fire?
Little.
Alright. I'm just gonna like do my druid craft, just like
Nice.
snuff out the fire.
Thanks, man.
I thought you died. There was blood, and I guess there was just never not blood, but there was more blood, and
The building is bleeding.
that's a little weird.
He doesn't have scones for that.
I don't have scones for that. I don't have any scones. This day is a disaster.
It is, and I guess she's not going to make the potion now.
She's not going to peg me anymore.
I never pegged you.
Someone's going to have to peg me.
Well, it can't be my javelin.
What?
What's your missus doing?
Wait,
She's with my javelin.
where are we going to get potions from? Where are you going to get ingredients from?
I have no idea.
Oh shit, the master.
You watch as like the whole top, basically half of the kill mill sort of falls into itself. The whole thing stops bleeding, and all the blood that's settled around you guys seems to just sort of draw in to the building itself. And before you know it, the whole ground around you is completely free of blood.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I was going to scoop some up. Try and sell it.
You can scoop some sandy, dirty blood up on the passing if you
Tower
want.
blood.
Alright, yeah, I'm going to scoop some up.
Some dwarven goo.
Soup.
Yeah.
Spicy soup.
Good soup.
I'm going to walk up to the entrance of the windmill and have a look inside, see if there's anyone left. Anything left?
Yep. Alrighty. Give me a your perception if you're not going in.
Yeah, I'm just standing
From the door. Yep.
10 plus 4, 14.
Alrighty. You look inside. Everything's charred from top to bottom. Like an explosion of fire had just passed through it. It's barely recognizable space anymore. A lot of debris from higher up has now fallen to the bottom. Just a whole lot of broken glass and a whole lot of bones.
And no one's left alive.
There's no one left alive.
Okay.
Your pipe weed.
I'm just gonna... Yeah, my fucking weed. Are we high?
No.
Oh. I'm gonna just close the door.
It all got vacuumed back in, so you guys didn't get the high at all.
Damn it.
Maybe cliche.
I'm puffed.
My arms are on fire and I'm like, Yes.
I'm just gonna close the door. There's nothing to see.
There's no
in
door
there.
to close.
Oh.
Got blown off its hinges.
I'm gonna just do the action. There's nothing to
The sitcom ending.
Yeah. There's nothing to see in there. I'll walk back. I help Cliche up.
Thanks, man. I think I definitely need a rest, and now I gotta go check on the master and see if he has any ideas or knows anyone else who can make potions, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably about time for a nap. Purely because we've been gone a long fucking time.
It's a couple nights. You didn't tell the missus that you weren't gonna rail her when we went and played potion roulette.
It's all good. I'll give her 2 Raylans. You doing anything, Bailey?
I have no idea.
You still got all your cheese from Kevin.
I do have my cheese. I guess I'll just go home.
Sorry, man. You have to find someone else to peg you now.
That's alright. What are you doing later?
My arms are burnt. I need to treat this.
That's fair. I'll come see you in the morning, see how you're doing. I'll stock up with ingredients.
Thanks,
you still
man.
need help, but I need something to eat. I need to sleep. I need to forget about today.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah, I gotta wash off this tower blood too.
Covered in tower.
Lady Adabra and the Killmill are no more. And you guys begin the trek back to town. Or back to home.
Sweet.
Okay.
I don't want to go through town because I don't want to talk to anyone.
I gotta track up the mountain, so I'm just do that.
I'm not the most talkative person anyway, so I'll just head back to the farm.
Nice. At a certain point where it's convenient, you guys all sort of take your own paths back to home. So next you get home, Mrs. is already in sleep because it's pretty late by this point. Cliche, you start to climb up the mountain, and Bailey, you'd be the first one home. As you open your door to your very cold, very empty home at the moment.
And then Kevin pops up.
Feeling more lonely than ever. I'll go outside. I'll pat Daisy. Have a say hello to Daisy, and then I'll just go into my cold room. I won't even put on the fire. Just gonna eat some stale bread, and just get into bed.
Nice. All right. Cliche, you find your way back up to the mountain. It's pretty dark up there. Nothing's lit. There's no torchlight tonight.
Okay. Enter the house.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
Go and check on the master and make sure he's asleep, at least, and see how his sleep's going.
You go in to check on the master. He's laying down.
Is he breathing? Can I roll perception? Like, what do you want?
You walk up close to him and put your head down near him. He's like, "I'm still alive."
Alright, I need to go wash off and just go. There was a waterfall there, wasn't there? And it's just gonna go fall in the water, face down, then get up and walk to bed drenched.
Nice.
You're a grub.
Dripping wet. You just mope off to bed.
Better than being covered in tower blood.
I didn't wash my tower blood off.
I know.
You just climb into bed, just covered in viscera.
She's just like, oh, you smell like dwarf corpses again.
Why does this always happen?
Dude, is that gonna be the name of your band?
Yes.
Dwarf Corpse?
No, you smell like dwarf
Oh,
corpses.
you smell like Dwarf Corpse.
Nice. All right, and you drift off to sleep. You return to the dream you've been recurring over the last few nights. You've just exited the tunnel with the small Orkling. A massive blue and green fire is raging in front of you all, in the center of the camp. There are several orc shamans dancing around the fire, yielding large staffs covered in different colors. and the other orcs around the outer edge are playing drums rhythmically and precise, and they sort of encapsulate your ears and pierce your mind. Other orcs nearby are humming notes, and they sing as if the sound comes from their throats. Around this gathering are huge stones, standing very tall. They have deep carvings of symbols and lettering, and of pictures and depictions. Stones surround the fire in a large circle. Beyond these stones lie beds on the ground, and beyond this still are the trees. They intertwine in such an incredible way it looks as though they were grown and manipulated. If this were the case, these trees standing over 30 feet must have been bent to their will in this way for centuries. There are two sprightly younger orcs wielding strange thin swords, wearing simple black robes, dancing around the fire, sometimes parrying a blow, other times acrobatically jumping over the other's head or swinging over the swords. One does an interesting maneuver attempting to sweep a leg, the other flips out of the trip and taps the orc's ankle with the blunt side of his long, slightly curved blade. Orcs laugh it off and the two continue to dance and fight. There's a strong aroma drifting to your noses from a nearby pot, slow boiling on coals. It's a floral aroma, like tea, but also carries the scent of fresh-baked scones. The short, stout orc stirring it has a strange-looking face for an orc. Strange because his nose is more pointed, his nostrils are flared and wide. He sniffs the stew, and from a small pocket produces a dry leaf, which he crushes in his hand and sprinkles daintily into the brew. He seems satisfied with his dish and continues to stir. A huge orc with dreaded hair, beads running through his long black beard, stands away from the gathering. He's running his hands over the thin branches of thick growing plants and tearing small pods off of the stems. His huge hands carry a large number of these, and he drops them into a nearby basket, which fills it immediately. He walks it over to the fire and pours it out at the feet of some orclings that begin to pick through and sort the soybean pods. Kurgag limps over to the large orc, the dreaded orc, turns to see him coming and then sees the rest of you. He makes a heavy and deep grunt. The music halts abruptly, and the orcs all turn their heads to see you all. Kurgag frantically shows his father the injury sustained to his leg and points you all out, seemingly explaining your presence was not meant to be of harm. What do you guys do?
Nice beard.
Hey, you guys are fighting. Can I join in?
One of the young orcs looks you up and down, hands you the sword. You can barely hold it. It's quite heavy in your arms.
Leaning on my shoulder, be like, let's do this.
As you lean it on your shoulder, it almost drags you backwards to the ground again.
Cool.
All of the orcs around sort of have a little bit of a giggle.
Anyone speak orc?
Oh, that sounded pretty good.
Pretty close.
Pretty spot on.
The kids at the near the fire, sort of sorting through the soybeans, look up, and then they go back to what they're doing.
Bailey's gonna like float along like the steam
scent.
coming up there, towards the big pot and the chef orc.
Chef orc is like slowly stirring it. His nostrils just like sniffing every now and then.
I'm gonna just hold there. I'm just gonna like with a cup.
He ladles a small ladle out, which is huge in comparison to your small tiny hand. Just
Hot.
fills it. You smell it, and it smells amazing. You have no idea what you're smelling. It just hits your nose, and immediately your brain awakens in excitement.
I'm gonna take a sip. A very like thoughtful sip.
You take the sip and you let it move around your mouth. Your taste buds are on fire, and you're like, that is something else.
I'm gonna give
What are you
you.
doing next?
I'm gonna head over to the kids and their soybeans. Give me some edamame. I'm gonna sit there and I'm going to give them the impression that I'm helping sort these soybeans or whatever they're actually supposed to be doing with them, and I'm gonna try and pocket some without anyone noticing.
Alright, give me a sleight of hand. as you finish up the your sip.
I'm gonna dig around in my backpack and I'm gonna.
Well, that's 10 out of 10 roll.
That's a natural 1 on the sleight of hand.
I'm gonna dig around in my backpack and I'm gonna take out one of a couple of the good berries that I found earlier on. I'm just gonna hand it to him as payment. It's like, this is a fucking delicious tea. Here, have some berries. I don't have anything else.
Opens up his massive palm. You drop these tiny little berries in it. He just opens up his pockets and puts it into the seemingly endless amount of pockets inside of his jacket.
I go,
He looks you over and he's like,
fair enough.
Nat 20 plus 1.
oh damn.
They do not see.
They do not see. You go down and in the bustle of you just sort of rummaging towards the kids, just swiftly disappear a few into your pockets. There's such a large pile they don't even notice that they're
Perfect.
missing. Yep.
The dream is alive. Protein for days.
I'm just gonna
Now you're just sitting there with the kids.
run check out this move I've got. And just try a vertical strike and launch the sword straight into the ground because it's too heavy.
Oh, give me an attack roll.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, it's not one.
Oh,
I was gonna do it on the thing,
Do
but
it.
that's fine.
it's canon. You now have no toe. I'm kidding. No, you swing it down and very nearly chop your toes off as it lodges the sword into the ground, and the orc that passed you the sword just like rips it out of the dirt and just like gives it a wipe over and lovingly caresses his sword. Just looks you over with this bit of a look like.
I wanted to fight.
I'm gonna taste the tea again, and then I'm going to try and see what it needs, as like a helping, not as a like a I'm gonna make this better, as like a I wanna learn from this guy. So I'm gonna ascertain what it's missing.
Okay, all right. Give me a roll. Nature, maybe.
Yeah.
I think he needs a new stat for food.
Yeah, I know, right? We
I
need
need
a food stat. Yeah.
Culinary.
Yeah.
Culinary rolling.
I need a culinary stat, I think.
Let's make a culinary stat.
Alright.
Yeah. You pitch it to me. We'll see how we go.
Alrighty.
Combination of like survival / nature, maybe, which I think is the same stat anyway.
5 plus 3, which is 8.
You taste it, and your young mind just can't even quite fathom what flavors mean what to you just yet. You've got salty, you've got sweet all at once, but you're just not sure what is missing in all of this.
I'm gonna be like, alright, maybe some of these berries. And I hold it up to him.
He slaps them away. Because you're so close to his love, his pot. He just slaps your hand out of the way. He reaches into his pocket, rummaging through, eventually finding the ingredient. He sprinkles it in, and you watch as it sort of changes and just a little whiff of something else hits your nose, and it definitely lifts it to another level. He gives you a small spoon to try it again.
I'm gonna smell it. I'm gonna taste it. I'm gonna see what's different about it.
Something to do with the herbs this time.
Okay.
Less sweetness, not so tart, but
Basil.
somewhat herby. Yeah.
Is this oregano? Is this like tasting oregano? I look up at this dude in awe and respect. Like, this is my new role model now. All I want to do is learn from this guy. So I'm just going to sit down. I'm going to help him. I'm just going to see what I can learn.
For the next few minutes, you help the chef, or you stand there and watch the chef basically stirring. And at one point, he
pass him
actually
stuff
hands
whenever he needs.
you his spoon, and you do a little bit of stirring yourself. He's
Like,
blown away.
I catch it. I get it with 2 hands. And I start
On one
stirring.
knee.
Yeah.
Cliche. You're watching these young fighters now. They've gone back into their stances. They're holding true, and you start to sort of mimic their behaviors and the way that they're standing and holding themselves. You pick up a small stick and you start to like do the
I did have
similar
one from
movements.
before.
That's
when I was
true. You
holding
did
two
have a
go-gos.
stick. Yeah, that's right.
I did too. Took it.
Took it to his gut.
Fucking A.
Snacks, you're by the fire with the kids sorting through the soybeans at the moment. They're just sort of like preparing them, and then the big orc, the dreaded orc, sort of walks over to all of you, and sort of towering over all three of you.
We can take him.
Arms bigger than your bodies, scars across his body are thick pink lines that break the deep dark skin of his like darkened green skin tone. His bearded hair goes past his shoulders, and he's got an interesting set of tattoos down a single arm, symbols that are unknown to any of you. He holds out a huge hand, palm larger than your faces, and in a deep voice he says to you all, "Hands. Give hands."
Did you speak my language? I was like, put my sword like that, my stick, and then put my hand in.
I'm gonna just.
You drop the spoon into the liquid, run over and throw your hands.
Oh, and I'll
both
go.
in.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Oh, you got it. Here you go.
And then touch your hand in. Nice.
I'm just gonna grab another handful of soybeans and then put my hand in. Like, just grab them in the one motion of getting up and moving my hand over to this bloke.
He doesn't notice. No one notices you grab a second
Do like the
handful.
stretching. It's like.
The kids who are like sorting through the last of the beans just notice there's none left. They're like, nah, you all put your hands into his massive hand, and he just encapsulates all three of them. And that's when sort of vision starts to fade, and you all wake up in your beds yet again.
Next time on Dungeons and Discourse, our DM puts a bad taste in Bailey's mouth.
So you all wake up in your beds yet again. Bailey, you have this strange taste in your mouth.
Snacks is
Every
just
time.
looking down at me.
Hello.